Man, Pereira sparring is always hilarious. Like, kind of scary, but also hilarious just because they throw down. I mean, that opening clip there, it's just kind of like, what is happening? They trying to kill each other. So we got more sparring footage to go through with Periera. We have 4 people at this location that he's going to spar with, one of which we just saw. Another one's a young kid. Actually, we don't get to see him do that very often. Maybe like a 16-year-old kid who looks like he weighs 135 pounds. So let's jump in to all this. I love seeing the odd style that Periera has, right? The hands down. The fact that it's very odd. He never really does kickboxing. Right? How often do we see him spar when he has shin pads on and he throws kicks? He's an MMA fighter. He's a kickboxer. He's not a boxer. I'm sure he could be, and he's talked about it, but it's always interesting. Now, this is probably for safety, but it's fun. It's fun watching him. He's up against a dude here who's pretty large, pretty big-sized dude. We just got a lot of clips. Sometimes it rolls through, sometimes we got clips. Good guard, nice roll there from the dude in the blue gloves. Many people after Pereira's last fight against Ankalaev, you know, that they have a lot of negative things to say. Man, it's hard to stay on top. It is very hard, right? I've been glory champ. I've lost the glory belt. I've got the glory belt back. I've lost it, won other titles, maintained those, but I don't look at Periera and think any less of him. Just still, wow. He's just so fun to watch fight. And yeah, he had an off night against Ankalaev, but still, awesome stuff to watch. So still same dude here. They both got a fairly relaxed guard. And just some of these guys, it's crazy that they can take his shots. Like, you see the power that he has in the fight. They have big gloves on, of course. They're not sparring with 10-ounce gloves or anything like that. But there's so much to learn just from watching Periera. I love that cross the body there. See how he kept his head very high when he threw his cross, so you're not committing and walking into shots. You can watch this stuff and take little tips and implement it into your own game, even though his style is so very odd. Think about the overhand. He's still trying to spar, and then maybe I give him the fake and I come down to there. Something like that. So I'm gonna show you a couple of my favorite setups right now. This, guys, is my Strike Ready program, which I created to help everybody in the martial arts community. We have offense course, defense course, takedown course. You can learn so much. And I've had such good feedback. So jump over to Strike Ready. I have a link down below where you can check out the website. Now we've got Periera sparring with this young kid. It's going to be interesting to see how he works with him. He's touching him. Not maybe following through, but he's touching. He's touching. This kid has short arms, so he's going to really have to work to get in the inside. But look at that. Nice head work from this young guy. The problem with being the shorter fighter is that when he tries to commit forward, sometimes he's taken those shots on the entry, which is, yeah, a little sketchy, especially when against Periera. But look at that. That's beautiful, because there's a lot of people that Periera just embarrasses, and this guy's showing some good skills. Getting tagged, of course, but I mean, who doesn't when they spar Periera? And I like this young kid's, his footwork. So he does the worst at distance. He should have his hands up at this distance, protecting his head. And then once he gets into that safe zone, then right there, that's where the head movement can come into play, I think. But I like how Periera's pushing him. He's not babying him, but he's pulling his shots. I was just doing a private yesterday with a girl, and she was talking about sparring with guys and how sometimes they just don't pull shots, and that's so true. If you're a dude and you're sparring somebody at the gym who's 50 pounds less than you, who's a female, who's like 60 pounds less than you, learn to lighten up. Imagine if Periera followed through right now. He'd dummy this poor kid. He's being nice, even though he's still challenging him. Here we move on to the first dude I believe that we saw him spar against, the one that has the real action. So watch closely. This is an exciting one. Let's see if something happens. This is like Pereira just got touched a little bit, and then he's just kind of like, okay, now we're going. But you can tell right in there, that's where it gets just a little heated for a second. They're looking at each other. Just that acknowledgement. Okay, yeah. I mean, neither of these guys block. They're not blocking. They're just rolling with the shots. If even rolling, they're just taking the shots. It blows my mind that they don't guard up sometimes. Put the guard up. You can block punches with your hands as opposed to your head. That, of course, is just my opinion. Ugh. On this style, you've got to be so dialed in. Oh, that head's just getting jolted. And Periera, let's look at where he touches. It's like face, jaw. He's not aiming for the forehead at all. I always think of forehead being the zone that you would be nicer to somebody, right? You're going to be a little nice. You're not going to try and hit them in the nose or the jaw. But he's still going there. And maybe that's good for him, because training wise, if you continually touch the forehead and then you go and fight and touch the forehead, you're not going to have that same result. So I've actually had to try and retrain myself to stop hitting people in the forehead. Periera will not have that problem. It's nice when you see it in slow motion though. You see all the head movement, you see the work happening here. Nice body shot, good slip. Yeah, those ones are they're not full power, but he's definitely not being nice about it. It's always fun watching all the different clips, because we've seen Periera sometimes with some big dudes who outsize him, just full on throwing down. And then sometimes where there's a little bit more of this pitter patter, like, yeah, that's fast sparring, but he's not aiming through. It's entertaining to just see the stylistic differences between so many people when they spar, and just sort of making that assessment. Do I want to be like this person? Like, you should be watching Periera and being like, is there any element of this that I want to bring into my own game? If not, that's fine. You can just learn. Got a new guy. This guy's cross looks a little bit more sloppy than the other guys. His hands are high. Let's see if he tries to throw. Yeah, so this guy's skill set is not close to that of the others. He looks like a slightly older gentleman. But Periera does not have trouble hitting people. Like, that uppercut there was harder than I would hit this dude for sure. And I haven't seen a reason yet why Periera needs to hit this dude hard. Like, he hasn't landed anything. There's no kind of like, oh, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back situation. But it's just stunning to watch Pereira spar and be like, yeah, he never blocks with his arms. And I mean, think about his fights. How often does he block with his arms, as opposed to just having those hands there, rolling with shots, moving very slightly? It is not what I would recommend, but there are some people who can do it. And I actually have a student who kind of moves like Pereira. I've asked him before, I'm like, are you trying to move like Alex? Are you trying to emulate his style? He's like, no, I'm really not, but he moves so much like him, but it works for him. So while I won't let anybody else in my program do it, I'll allow him to, because he has that raw hitting power, and he's not bad on the fade back. This is not the most crazy that we've seen Pereira, but I like the pace. His pace is fast. And these guys are so lucky to get rounds with him. Like, I don't think I want to go around the world and stop at gyms and just spar with a bunch of people I don't know, because injuries. Like, I don't want to accidentally get cut. I don't want to end up with a bunch of headaches because some guy randomly decided he wants to try and take my head off. So props to Pereira for that. Very nice slip body uppercut counter that he does. So I always like to share this stuff with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, when Pereira spars.